with the Intercontinental Championship, that they are not hesitant at all to just slap this on any guy they feel like slapping it on.
Which is kind of sad now, which the IC title was so prestigious. Like, winning that title meant something, like, back in the 90s and the 80s, you know, like, that title meant so much. It was really the second best title you could get, you know, like, it wasn't far off from the WWF title at the time, you know, like, where now it's nowhere near as good as the World Heavyweight title. And the U.S. title is proving itself kind of more and more to be better than the IC title, which is sad to me.
There were plenty of times in the golden era of wrestling where it was, you know, a constant debate of which champion's better, you know, the Intercontinental Champion or the WWE Champion, because one would be Hulk Hogan and the other would be Macho Man Randy Savage, or the other would be Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, or one would be
Ultimate Warrior,
or Rick Rude, or, you know,
Warrior would be Champ,
or Piper, or
Perfect
Hitman.
would be Perfect would be IC title. You know, like, it'd always be that good. Even the British Bulldog, who really isn't remembered as IC title, still, like, it'd be him and Macho Man. I think at the time it was
still all main event, you know, headliner caliber,
but then
people,
over
not
time,
mid-carders.
But then sometime in the New Generation era, somewhere around like 94 and 95, I'd say, they started kind of giving it to people like Jeff Jarrett, who, while he was really good at the title and is a great IC title, you could clearly tell that they were starting to diminish the value of it and give it to Dean Douglas.
I don't think it was necessarily who they gave it to so much as it was how many people they gave it to. Like, they wouldn't let anyone establish any kind of title reign that was respectable or memorable with it. It wasn't that the performers themselves weren't good enough or undeserving. It was just that they didn't have the opportunity to do anything with it. It's, I'm only going to have it for 1 to 2 months, and then I got to drop it to this next guy. What the heck can I accomplish with it in 1 to 2 months?
Because, when Jeff Jarrett won it, then started to become a back and forth kind of thing, you know, where, like, Razor would win it again, and then, Jeff would win it again, and then, Razor wins it one more time, and then Shawn gets the title, and then Shawn loses the title because he says he's got an injury, and then someone gets the title from vacancy, but then he has to face someone that very same night for the IC title, where he loses that IC title. Like, it just kept changing so many times, and in the Attitude Era, it really showed how much.
It was pathetic in the
Godfather IC title. What the heck is up with that?
It was absolutely pathetic, but I think I'm ready to go with my prediction on this one.
Okay, let's go to the match.
And here's why. I really think that each show has to have at least one of their titles change hands and one of their titles retained. And SmackDown only has the 2 titles. So again, there's a 50-50 shot that, you know, the champion loses this one, or there's a 50-50 shot that Dean Ambrose loses later on. I think, based off of what I'll say, you know, my thoughts on that match are affecting my thoughts on this match. So I am actually going to choose Apollo Crews to win this match in a shocker. Shane and Daniel said when they drafted The Miz that they were just trying to get the IC title, that they didn't necessarily want The Miz specifically, they wanted the IC title. The Miz is somewhat of a part-timer who comes and goes. They need this title on the show every week because they don't have very many titles. It can be, you know, help them symbolize their, you know, ideas for the new era, you know, and the types of stars we're looking for and what we're going to reward and push and stuff like that. So I'm picking Apollo Crews to become the new Intercontinental Champion.
All right. I certainly don't agree. I don't agree with that, but I could definitely see your point, and it's very likely that could happen. But I have to go with The Miz because I feel that Apollo Crews and Miz should have like a rematch of sorts, you know. Like I feel like Apollo Crews can kind of like do like there's one thing that costs him, like he's so close to grasping the title, and then there's just this one thing
like
that
Maurice will
causes him
cheat or something,
to
or the
a
ref will
fake-
miss a rope
fake foot
break
thing.
and count the 3
Yeah.
anyway, or something like that.
And Miz will get a cheap win, you know, and then at the next pay-per-view Backlash, we see Miz and Apollo Crews go at each other again, and this time Apollo Crews is at his
Sure,
A game,
sure.
ready to win that title, and he actually wins it at Backlash.
Sure.
And it's a SmackDown pay-per-view too. Like I'm pretty sure it's going to be a SmackDown exclusive from what it's about. Like it sounds like it's going to be SmackDown exclusive, and I think it'd be cool to have the IC title change at their first SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view of the new era, you know, the first brand split again.
I agree with all that. I think that's the smart money, but I'm still going with mine. It is Apollo Crews. I think is going to walk out of this at some point in time, beating the Miz and becoming the Intercontinental
Oh, for
Championship.
sure.
Just a matter of whether he does it at this pay-per-view or one of the upcoming
Backlash
ones.
or No Mercy or Survivor Series, you know.
Yep. All right. What do we got left?
How about we do
We got
the
like,
women's
geez, we got a whole bunch of matches
Yeah.
left, man.
Let's
We
do
gotta,
the US
we gotta
title.
pick this pace up.
U.S. title match next?
All right, which we saw a couple nights ago on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Because they decided to give it for free to us in the main event of Raw. They just didn't have the title on the line in it. Instead, they had Rusev defending his new bride, Lana's honor, against Roman Reigns, to which he lost, ultimately. So, no reason to believe that the outcome here at SummerSlam is going to be any different. I think it is hilarious and crazy and awesome that Roman Reigns went from this huge push as the guy, you know, that went through Royal Rumble to WrestleMania, where, you know, he was crowned the guy at WrestleMania, and then that lasted like 2 months, and then he's suspended, and now he's in the United States title picture. Just crazy. I do think that they're slapping the title on him and taking it off of Rusev, though. However, maybe was the whole point in the Raw main event, was to swerve us. You know, where that's Roman's win, but actually Lana is going to cost Roman the match and keep the title on her husband at SummerSlam or something, and try and turn Roman Reigns somehow into, you know, a sympathetic guy that's getting screwed over and we can get behind. I mean, everything is all about getting Roman over. They're not giving up on that. They're just restarting a new push.
Well, I think Roman should win this match in any way possible, whether it's count out, DQ, you know. I feel like Roman should win this match no matter what, kind of, to whether if he walks out the title or not. I think, like, you should show him as the sympathetic guy, like, as you've been talking about how Lana may cost him, you know, maybe she cost him the title, and then Roman's like, oh, man, I failed because this person got in my way, but next time I'm going to be stronger, and I'm going to listen to what people have to say, you know.
Keep
like,
this feud going, kind of the way you suggested with Apollo Crews and The Miz. Yeah,
which helped
I can see
boost
that.
both minor titles, you know, how they're considered now minor titles. It kind of boosts them because they're actually having long-lasting rivalries. Crazy, right, for a minor title?
Yeah.
But I think that while Rusev looks like he's gonna win because of how Raw ended up, I think that is just the swerve that you're saying it's gonna be, and I think that Roman's gonna win, whether if it is a DQ or count out or just walking out the title. Either way, you know.
They're usually pretty consistent with 50-50 booking.
Even though it's a pretty old standard.
Which is why
that
they
it'd be-
loved when the brands weren't split, because then they could do the 50-50 booking between Raw and SmackDown. And then you had no idea what you were going to really actually get at the pay-per-view.
I think it'd be cool not to have the 50-50 booking and have Roman actually win the title in this one, you know. I think it'd be cool.
So is that what you're predicting? Roman Reigns wins the title?
It's a tough one, honestly, but I think Roman will walk out the U.S. title. he's got enough star power, even though it's a controversial star power. I think he still has it to where he can make the U.S. title something like how John Cena did, where it's like a big major superstar now holds this title and is kind of bringing some, credibility to it again, like Rusev's already started, but Roman could continue that, and I think that's a good path they could go on, with Roman now being in the U.S. title picture, for now at least.
Yeah.
But it's tough for me, though. Like, I could easily see Rusev winning or Roman winning by a DQ or count it. It's really tough for me, honestly. So, what do you think?
They showed us on Monday Night Raw that as long as it is just a honest one-on-one match with no kinds of, cheating or interference of any kind like that, that Roman will always win that match. Legit, clean, in the middle of the ring, 1, 2, 3.
Even though Lana is mismatched from what I'm seeing,
So to me, I don't know, but you made a really good case with the Apollo Crews, Miz, kind of using this to start things, and then you change it over down the line. Boy, man.
This is the toughest match, in my opinion, to decide on the show. Like, out of all the matches, this is the toughest one, I think. Like, it could go either way for me. Like, all the possibilities, I think, are possible can happen.
I want Rusev to win, because I like Rusev way more than
Rusev
Roman Reigns.
is way better than Roman Reigns, in my opinion.
And you allowed me to see it in a way where that was very sensible and possible. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with Rusev, thanks to Lana distracting the referee at just the right time, or sneaking Rusev one of her high heels that he then smashes Roman in the face with or something. When
so you're just doing my Miz Apollo Crews for this match, then?
Exactly. Via manager-induced shenanigans. Rusev will retain the title, and Roman will remain protected and in this storyline for this title until he takes it in the future.
Cool, very cool. Let's keep going on.
Who did you pick in that one?
I picked Roman, remember?
All right, picking Roman. Cool. All right.
Because I did the Miz Apollo Crews that you did for this match, basically.
Yep,
so
perfect.
We're kind of just opposite.
Awesome.
For matches.
Nice for balancing out. Fantastic.
Yep.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 matches left.
Let's keep
Holy
going fast.
guacamole.
So
All
let's go
right.
straight to this singles match for the WWE Women's Championship. Dana Brooke is barred from ringside. Sasha Banks will defend the women's title against Charlotte. Just the two of them. Gonna have a match at SummerSlam. It's gonna be epic, I think. What do you think about it?
I think it's going to be a great match and awesome. This might go down so far as the best singles women's match at any WWE pay-per-view in history.
So
it has
far.
that potential. It could surpass anything Lita and Trish did at any pay-per-views back in their day, or anyone else for that matter. It has that potential. Whether it'll for sure do that or not, there's no way to know.
We're not including NXT because NXT still...
NXT does not count.
Yeah.
Part of me says just go with the obvious. Sasha Banks retains her title, and Charlotte continues her heel demise, adding to her anger and whatever post losing her title. But then there's this tiny little part of me that feels like they've been throwing in these nuggets about how Charlotte was never able to win anything up until this point by herself. She had to have her dad. She had to have Dana Brooke. She had to have somebody. So there's a tiny part of me that feels like those things have been brought up and mentioned over the last several weeks to kind of help foreshadow that, no, Charlotte is going to shock everyone. This is going to be this match, this storyline on this card is meant to be a shock moment, where we get tons of just awesome, genuine heat on Charlotte, in a shocker. And
She's already got enough heat.
And we can keep this
so just
rivalry.
add more.
I think if you're Raw, you want to prolong Sasha versus Charlotte as long as possible. And then keep building Nia Jax on the side separately, away from these two.
Well, also